Hmm. Listen, write down the heading default constructor. Default constructor. And start writing. Uh, uh. If no constructor is defined in the class, then Java provides default constructor. So it is written, you can see. Okay. Means even you are not defining any constructor, the constructor will be provided by Java. Okay. Which initializes, which matlab, that default constructor initializes the data members of the class by their default values. You know the purpose of constructor is what? The purpose of constructor is to initialize the data members of the class. Okay. The purpose of constructor is what? To initialize the data members of the class. So this default constructor will initialize the data members of the class by their default values. The list of default values I have written here. The default value of byte, short, int, and long is 0, float 0.0f, double is 0.0, char will be a space, and boolean, default value of boolean is what? False. Okay, so here I'm explaining with example. See this class. This class has no constructor. Is there any constructor? No, there is no constructor in this class. Okay, so and you can see it has. Oh, sorry. Example. You can see this class has no constructor. Okay, so what will happen? Listen carefully. I'm going to explain this line. You know what we are doing in this line? In this line, we are creating the object of the class, and I've taught what happens when we create the object of any class. So new operator, new operator allocates memory for the data members. So here we have three data members. C in your copy, you have written A, B, and C, right? Memory will be allocated for A, B, and C by new operator. So new operator will allocate memory for the data members. Done. Then this part is called constructor call. This is what? Constructor call. And since we have not defined constructor in this class, there is no constructor in this class. In that case, default constructor will be provided by Java. Means default constructor will be called. And what that default constructor does? It will initialize the data members of the class by their default values. Means what? You can see the variable A is of int type. Okay. And the default value of int is 0. So this A will be initialized with 0 automatically. It is provided by Java. You can see the variable B is of double type. Copy में देखो. The variable B is of double type and the default value of double is what? 0.0. So it will be initialized by default constructor with 0.0. And the third variable C, the third data member C is of Boolean type. And you can see in the table, in the list, the default value of Boolean is what? False. So the variable C, the data member C will be initialized by false. And it will be done automatically by Java using default constructor. So remember this, if there is no constructor defined in the class, then Java provides default constructor. And what default constructor does, it initializes the data members of the class by their default values. Okay, and the address of this location, the address of this memory location will be stored into the object. Please remember this. Last class we have written as a notes that object stores memory address. Object stores memory address. Remember this. So the address of this location, the address of this memory location will be stored into the object OB. ध्यान रखना ऑब्जेक्ट क्या स्टोर करता है? मेमोरी एड्रेस और रेफरेंस. So it is all about constructor, non-parameterized, parameterized, and default constructor. The process of defining more than one function in a class of functions of same name with different parameters list. See this example. This class sum. class sum has 3 functions, you can see, and the name of these 3 functions is add, add, add. Function का name same. What is different there? Their parameters list. It is requiring 2 integers. This function is requiring 3 integers, and this function is requiring 2, but double type of value, fractional value. So function name, we can define more than one function of same name, but with different parameters list. This is called function overloading. Okay, I hope it is clear to all. Now, see from the main function. Let me explain how it is working. Please keep that question in front of you in your copy. What you have written, please keep in front of you. See, in this line, I'm creating the object of the class. Okay, by to call the function. So by this object ob.add, I'm calling function add and passing 1, 2, 3. Means I'm passing 3 integers. What I'm passing? I'm passing 3 integers. So can you tell me which function will be called? First, second, third. Which function will be called?
Second wala.
Second function will be called because second function requiring 3 integers. So without confusion, second function will be called. Okay. So this 1, 2, 3. The value of 1, 2, 3. What we are passing 1, 2, 3. We are passing that will go to this 1 will go to A. This 2 will go to B, and this 3 will go to C. And A plus B plus C will be what? 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. That will be returned. जहाँ से कॉल होता है कंट्रोल वापस नहीं जाता है. What we are getting back 6, that will be stored into X. So the value of X will be what? 6. Okay. Now second time we are calling the function. See the next line. ob.add this function, and here we are passing 2 fractional values. So which function will be called? This third one, because this function is requiring 2 fractional values. Okay. So 2.5 will go to A. This 4.5 will go to B. A plus B will be what? 7.0. That we will get back. ये वापस कंट्रोल आएगा जहाँ से फंक्शन कॉल होता है, कंट्रोल वापस वहीं आता है. And what we are getting back from this 7. That 7.0 that will be stored into y. So the value of y will be 7.0. And then thirdly, we are calling the function ob.add, and we're passing what? 5 and 3. We're passing what? 5 and 3. So this 5 and 3, you can see the first function is requiring 2 integers. This 5 and 3 will go to this first function. 5 यहाँ आएगा, 3 यहाँ आएगा, and this function will return a plus b, that is what? 8. जो कहाँ वापस आएगा? यहाँ पे third function. The value of z will be what? 8. And then we are printing the value of x, y, and z. Okay. So two things. First thing, function overloading means what? You can define more than one function of same name with different parameters list. This is called function overloading. See, this class has 3 functions. Name of all 3 function is same, that is add, but the parameters list is different. तीनों का parameter list different है, लेकिन class का function का name same. This is called function overloading. और एक चीज और, you can see while we are calling the function. देखो यहाँ से अब ये जरूरी नहीं कि तुम जिस फंक्शन को पहले डिफाइन किया उसी कॉल करोगे. जिस फंक्शन को जब कॉल करोगे वो फंक्शन तब कॉल हो जाएगा. Are you getting the point? In which sequence you are calling? अब यहाँ पे हमने फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल किसे कॉल किया? सेकंड फंक्शन कॉल किया, फिर थर्ड को कॉल किया, फिर फर्स्ट को कॉल किया. तो जब जिस फंक्शन को कॉल करोगे, फंक्शन इज डिफाइंड इन योर प्रोग्राम, यू कैन कॉल. ओके. अब किस सीक्वेंस में फंक्शन डिफाइंड है, डिफाइन समझना. ये यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं? फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहे हैं. और डिफाइन कहाँ हुआ है फंक्शन? ये फंक्शन डेफिनेशंस हैं, ये तीनों फंक्शन डेफिनेशंस हैं. If you have defined the function in the program, and if you are calling, then it will be called. It doesn't matter where it is. Sequence में function कहाँ define है से नहीं मतलब है. प्रोग्राम में तुम्हारे function है, defined है, तो call हो जाएगा. I think समझ में आ रही है बात जो कहना चाह रहे हैं. So this is about function overloading. So defining, we can define more than one constructor in a class with different parameters list. Okay. So I'm writing the example here. Please write on with me. So means defining more than one constructor in a class with different parameters list is called constructor overloading. Okay. First constructor, now second constructor I'm defining int x y. We can define more than one constructor with different parameters list. Here a equal to x semicolon b equal to y. Some lines are here. The main function. And here I'm creating the first object ABC OB1 equal to. Please keep on writing OB1 equal to ABC. Then another object ABC OB2 equal to new ABC bracket see or any value, any direct value. Some more lines are there. Main close plus.